Welcome, gamers, hardcore gamers, and VR enthusiasts, to another episode of the Interactive Chat. This is Volume 6. As some of you may or may not know, there were some technical difficulties holding us back from doing a PSVR Gamescast live over on PSVR Without Parole. So make sure you go subscribe over there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But there is a lot to talk about, so we had to go ahead and bring things to the underground. And welcome, guys. Good to see you. Already see people. We're going to run through some news, some updates, some important everything PSVR and PSVR 2 related. What is up, Gabriel 004, the Lights of Me Out Game Cat, Peter the Underground Game Cat on parole. Yeah, man. No, we're going to be kicking it here. And welcome, guys. Good to see you. Happy Friday indeed. And man, there is a lot of stuff going on. Dude, first of all, hold the phone. Jeremy the NES rookie donating to me on his birthday. What are you doing, man? Happy birthday to you. Man, really appreciate all you do. He puts, for anyone who doesn't know, he puts time codes on all of my Saturday Night Live streams. So if ever you go to that stream and it's all organized and separated properly for you, thank him. And of course, this is Interactive Chat. I like to interact with all of you while we do the news, and I try to keep up with all the comments as much as possible. What up, Pio Trek, Stingray X, all you guys, Josh, yo, Decepticon, oh yeah. Good to see you guys. Happy birthday, Jeremy. Thank you, man, for all you do. All right, guys, so it is time to get into the news. I hope you all have had a great week. There's lots of stuff going on, so much, in fact, way more than it seems like. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes. And the first thing is, starting tomorrow, the Zenith beta is finally beginning. Now, I want to see how many people have actually gotten a key for this thing, because getting a key for the Zenith beta is about as easy as getting a PS5. And it's funny because it's basically the same thing where there's so much demand for the Zenith beta. They gave out 1,000 keys, and there's like 40,000, 50,000 people on their Discord, in their community. They are huge. We've been covering Zenith, which is going to be a VR MMO RPG inspired by like Sword Art Online, and the creators of it are huge fans of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. I am a big fan of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. I'm a big Final Fantasy guy in general, always have been, and if you never got a chance to play it, it is awesome. It is like a huge, beautiful MMO, and it's very social, where you get together, you level up your character like you would an RPG, with loot, with armor, with all this stuff, but then, and weapons and whatnot, and then you get together, you do NPC quests, and then you can actually join and do dungeon raids, where you usually go on like a certain quest together and take on big bosses and all this stuff, and you usually get some really big rewards for that as well. The beta begins tomorrow at 11 a.m. It says 4 p.m. No, I'm sorry, 11 a.m. and it goes all the way to December 22nd. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to stream the beta, but we'll be hopefully covering it in some fashion on Monday's Gamescast. Bearded Power says, my 9-year-old niece just got into Final Fantasy. I'm so happy. That's so cute. She's adorable, and I haven't even met her, but she is. That is awesome, man. Yeah, I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. 7 and 8 are probably my favorites. I love 12. And hell, I hate to say it, but I liked that Final Fantasy fishing game in VR. I know it's not the greatest game, but, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. So really looking forward to testing this out tomorrow. I am in it, and, really sorry for everyone. I know it was really hard to get it. I got hooked up from Brian. Thank God he had my back there, because I didn't realize the demand was that high, and I was a little late to get it going. So, yeah. In other news, Sony London Studios, developers behind Blood and Truth. Oh, I wasn't playing all this background stuff. I spent all this time getting these videos together, and I didn't even put the video up there. Sorry. Pretty stuff to look at. Stuff everywhere to look at to keep you distracted while I talk about nothing. But Sony London Studio has had some job positions that they're hiring for. For those who don't know, those are the developers behind PlayStation VR Worlds and Blood and Truth. And of course, those are huge, like, first-party AAA games that came out for VR. They're big for VR games. You know, we're gradually getting to the point to where VR games are actually somewhere from 8 to 30-hour games, which is really, really cool. But yeah, man. So this comes from Daily Stock Market News, and in their News Plus section, they say Blood and Truth's creators have been working on an unknown video game for some time, and now we're seeing new employment offers from the project. SIE London Studio has advertised fresh job openings for their secret PS5 game, which, as we previously reported in April, points to a new intellectual property. So, doesn't sound like it's going to be a Blood and Truth 2, unfortunately, because I know how much a lot of us would love that. But they usually like to demo stuff for new hardware, or create games and experiences for new hardware. They continue to say the offers, which are intended at people in charge of online programming, come on top of the need for online gameplay designers and virtual effects artists that was just seen a few months ago. So it sounds like this is a game that's going to have online capabilities, and we know Sony is developing, likely developing from different sources, some kind of online multiplayer game to compete with, I'm guessing, that of like a Halo or just, online games have become super popular over the years. So people really like the social aspect. People really like the competitive nature of them. So they're trying to possibly work on something here. We have no idea what this is. We don't actually even know if this is a VR game, but I'm really, really thinking that it will be, or at the very least, a hybrid for the next gen VR console. So really excited to see what they do here. And, word on the street is that around February, March is when we can expect to hear more, which makes sense. I mean, that's basically that's what the gut feeling tells you, right? We didn't get anything this month, unfortunately. But now sources are telling me that we never were going to get something this month. There's a rumored state of play happening this month, which maybe got things crossed up a little bit, but don't expect any PSVR 2. That's going to come probably February and March around that time. So good to see all you guys. Really happy to see you. Pietrek F says Wipeout VR. There was a studio, if you remember, there was a report that we were hearing about a potential new Wipeout game in the works, not the mobile one. When we heard about the mobile one, we weren't really too happy about that. If they can make some money off of that, fine. But, we want these big, full, fleshed out games. Although mobile has proven that it is a very successful market. So I could totally see them doing that as well. But there's supposed to be a next-gen VR Wipeout that's in the works as well. So that is super exciting. What up, JD Melks? Good to see you, homie. So in other news, there is also tomorrow a Swordsman update that is coming. And it is, this is what you see on the thumbnail from today. And this is the Swordsman Christmas update. There's no gameplay shown of it yet. So all I've got is just this little spinning guy here. And what you're looking at there is the new epic Santa suit that you can win from playing Swordsman, that you acquire, I should say. Usually they have some kind of event, some kind of boss fight. And Sin Studio posts on their Twitter, they say, you'll need this epic Santa suit to be able to harness the magic of the holidays. The Santa suit will allow you to summon magical snowballs and make you feel like the most badass Santa this holiday season. I mean, who wouldn't want to feel like the most badass Santa ever? Am I right? That is super cool. But there's more. They say we have 2 more additions to the holiday update. We can't wait to show you. We saved the best for last. And yeah, I mean, this Santa suit looks pretty badass. It's super funny, man. Sin Studio really kills it with the updates to this game, and they are pretty awesome when it comes to all this. Now, one of the updates that I noticed, they actually did already show. And it's some kind of candy cane weapon. It looks like a giant candy cane, but it's also like a cane sword kind of thing going on. So that's going to be rather interesting to find out what that turns out to be or how that's used. So we know we got candy canes, we got snowballs. I think I know what they have in store, because there's one more thing they posted on Reddit. And it is basically, it looks like a gift box, like a present you would put under a Christmas tree. And it looks like it slices in half, just like a Beat Saber thing. So if Swordsman actually put some kind of rhythm game or Beat Saber thing, just speculating here, that would be absolutely insane. But I swear, on Reddit, you can go see it yourself. A present gets sliced in half, and it kind of like disintegrates exactly like how you would see a Beat Saber block. So I'm really curious to see what they do with that. And that's tomorrow, guys. That's supposed to come out tomorrow. I don't know what time, but there is a lot of shit happening tomorrow. We got the Zenith beta. We've got we've got the Swordsman thing. We don't usually get a lot of updates on Saturdays, so it's kind of weird. But hell, it's the weekend before. I'm guessing, is Christmas next week? Sort of. It's 1 week from Christmas, so that'll be really interesting. And I love getting in the holiday spirit with all these updates. Big shout out to any developer who adds these holiday themed updates, because it just makes for a good time. It's always a good time. Guys, good to see you. Snacks Impulse says it's actually a Jewish throwing star of David. A throwing star of David would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty badass, especially if it like takes a chunk of a dude's head off. I mean, that has the Christmas spirit ringing all throughout it. I actually recently played the Hitman 3 Holiday Hoarders update, and that was one of the weapons that was pretty cool. Willard says, do I have to watch volume 1 through 5 to understand the story of this one? No, not really. Those some people like to go back and watch them. I did add them to a playlist, so you can check them out. They're all fun conversations, but no, it is not a requirement. You will get filled in all the lore on this episode of Interactive Chat, Volume 6. Oh, love you guys. All right, so I think it's time we talk about one of the main headlines of the evening, and that is there was recently Sony Tech Day, where this is basically an event where Sony showcases technology updates and to technology that they're working on, and they show this around to different people. Let me go ahead and get the video rolling. They do all sorts of stuff. They do like posts about it. And this time we got a little YouTube video from them that showcases something really cool. And it is all about this technology they're working on, which is an 8K micro display OLED screen that is 4K per eye. So if you were to actually wear the headset with this technology, it would be a full 8K. And We real quick donation from Mad Max the Metaverse Game Cat VR. Appreciate you, my friend. He says, need a Zenith key. Nowhere is where is the weird guy. I don't know what that means, but I love you, Mad Max. Thank you. And yeah, the Zenith keys were really hard to get. I'm totally with you there. Craziness how they are. But Siren's on my end. The game cat has got the right idea. He says, I'm already in the holiday spirit with a bunch of beer. Pietrek says it was PSVR 3. So, yeah, this is obviously not a consumer-related device. This is from their post about it. They say, this is a virtual reality head-mounted display that projects a high-definition 3D space and achieves a high resolution of 4K with one eye and 8K with both eyes. High image quality is achieved through multi-pixel and miniaturization using fine processing and advanced packaging technology cultivated through the development and manufacture of CMOS image sensors and organic light emitting diode, or OLED. Micro display using device and circuit technology cultivated through the developer of displays. The processing time is reduced by decreasing the amount of latency throughout the entire system thanks to the integration of data from multiple sensors. The person watching in VR can experience high-definition images in real time according to the movement of his or her head. In addition, industrial applications, the OLED microdisplay is expected to be used in the entertainment field as it can express the texture of materials and human expressions in high definition in real time based on movements of the viewer's head. So, did that just go completely over your head? Don't worry, I have some kind of notes because I read it about 8 times to kind of keep up with it. But first, I'm going to give a big thank you to Josh PSVR with a $20 donation. Thank you so much, man. Says, thanks for always working hard for us. Man, you guys make it fun. It's a lot of fun. YouTube is tough, man. It's like 24/7, a lot of stress. Got to always be making content. Always thinking about you guys. Yeah, always doing things behind the scenes. And I hate when I'm doing stuff behind the scenes that you can't see because there's a lot happening for sure. So I did make a couple notes on here. The purpose of this display headset, head-mounted display that they've shown, is all about creating remote collaboration and sharing. This is something that they are using that actually they started to develop in times when the pandemic hit, and they realized the value of being able to use VR technology for remote collaboration. We've also got Alice Ryan. Thank you so much. You get my Friday tip today. Thank you, man. This is the thing, though. They mention a lot of really, really key things that we are going to potentially see. There's some really cool stuff in here when you unpack everything. Their focus is on high resolution and low latency. Those will be leveraged in a broad range, including games, live entertainment, medical training, manufacturing operations support. So this is the thing, is this technology that they showed here, yes, this is not PSVR 2. This is not what we are going to expect in our headset, maybe in a long ways in the future. But this is the technology, and these are the goals that they're using to develop this technology. And this is where, like, this shit just hits my nerd bones and makes me go crazy because, like, I love geeky stuff like this, especially to hear it coming from, the mothership. But I thought it was really interesting. They mentioned this in the video where they say this whole philosophy of high resolution and low latency will be leveraged in other things, including gaming. So, we already know a little bit of info about PSVR 2. And one of these things is we can expect is that, yeah, we already know it's going to have an upgraded resolution. But they're also talking about some of these things will help reduce motion sickness, which has been kind of a big problem early on for early VR adopters that weren't really ready. We know motion sickness has been a key turnoff for a lot of people. And I do think it is related to resolution and latency. When there's a lag, when your brain basically is telling your body that something is wrong here, something doesn't feel right. And that's what causes motion sickness. It's kind of like your body's defense mechanism to say, hey, something isn't right. I did find it super cool, though. We recently saw this Oculus thing where Zuckerberg is talking about the metaverse. And I know there's been a lot of people poking fun at him about, him kind of trying to say, like, making it sound like he's created this thing and whatnot. And it's simply not true that they are trying to build a metaverse, but they'll never be like, the only reason they're the metaverse is because that's the name they went with it. So they're really good with their marketing and their selling points. But then you look over here to Sony and you see they're actually implementing these things and developing this technology at a really high level. And Sony kind of just shows it off. And they're like, this is, boring, like in almost like a boring way. But this is really exciting to me because this is kind of like the same thing. I mean, they're talking about deploying this technology for remote collaboration and sharing into games, into live entertainment, they said. So that is a question for the future. When it comes to what PSVR 2 and the capabilities, I remember one of the last Gamescast we had, Brian was making a really good point about PSVR 2 and VR and the way that it's going to change not only the games, but also just the technology, what else it's going to be used for. And for some reason, it takes me a minute for things in my brain to click. I'm a little slow. But when I saw this video, I immediately flashed back to when he said that. I'm like, yeah, they're talking about using it in games, in live entertainment, being able to place us into live concerts, and different things like that. We already know there's some movie theater apps, and I love the idea of going to movies with you guys in VR and virtual movie theaters with my friends here, and then going to concerts, witnessing live entertainment events of all sorts of kinds. It doesn't just have to be these rock shows and music concerts. It could be stuff like Cirque du Soleil and all sorts of other things. Really, really cool. Think about like visiting museums and really the way this technology, when it has the quality behind it, can really take us and transport us to all these different locations and provide really, really cool things that we can experience together. In addition, they talk about medical training and manufacturer operations support. So lots of really cool ways that this OLED screen is showcased and shows the potential for how VR and Sony's involvement is going to expand and evolve in the future. So I had to share that, but that's not all. Now comes along. Let me get some water real quick because there's a lot of talking when it's by myself. And I'll answer a quick question. Beard of Power 666 says, I never tried any other headset, and I was just wondering if the Quest is any different in regards to motion sickness to the PSVR, or is it the same? Again, I think due to higher resolution, I think it makes it a little bit easier. I think when VR is blurry and jaggy and low frame rates and low quality, high latency, I think that's where people get sick. Something doesn't feel right. Something feels off, and they're seeing something different than what's actually occurring, and that's what can make people get sick. So as far as the Quest 2 goes, it also has the Fresnel lenses, which PSVR 2 is also supposed to have. And that is basically these like ring-like lenses, and they're supposed to eliminate this distortion that's caused when you turn your head like really fast. There's supposed to be a distortion there that can happen that can cause motion sickness. And but yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask because I don't get motion sickness. The only time I ever have is like test playing something I made in Dreams, which runs at a really like bad performance, low frame rate, or just something that just doesn't feel right. And that has basically the only thing that's ever kicked my ass before. But in general, I'm the wrong person to ask because I tend to like the stuff that really pushes the limits. I like stuff like Ace Combat 7, where you're flying around, or Detached, where it gives you this sense of gravity, or like zero G environment. I kind of like that stuff. And Sirento doing backflips, I'm all about it. So that's the kind of stuff I like and tend to try and go to. Rody the Game Cat, thanks so much for the 10 donations. It's higher, Brian. I'm working on it. I'm going to get him on my payroll ASAP. That's a hot commodity right there. He's the hottest PSVR free agent on the market, man. So he's going to be mine. Let's see. Distracted says Borderlands 2 is best example on PSVR. Something is seriously off. Borderlands 2 is like wishy-washy. Sometimes I've seen what people are talking about, but I typically don't experience anything too bad on there. But Nick Mulo, I am not aware of a secret Song in the Smoke difficulty. No. Willard says if you guys hire each other, it'll cause a space-time paradox. Oh, man. Well, that is great, man. So anyways, back to this 8K OLED thing. Engadget noticed something that nobody else did about this footage, and that is they have spotted Gran Turismo 7 being used in this tech demo. And there's a picture of certain things. I can actually try to pull it up here real quick. If you bear with me 1 second, I can try to pull up just a quick image. Let's see, GT7 and interactive chat. Just talk amongst yourselves for 1 second. I got this. I cobbled together this show last second, as I always do. Let's see here, interactive chat. So I'll show you a quick thing right here. What you're seeing is this is something, as pointed out by GT Planet, that this is called the Gran Turismo Cafe. And what they describe this as is being a kind of beginner's section from Gran Turismo 7. This is going to be something used to kind of help do the tutorial. Some people were saying maybe it's the scapes, which anyone unfamiliar with Gran Turismo, scapes are you pick a car and it kind of demos the car for you. It showcases them. But they did allude to that. They did say that the scapes usually only has like 2 or 3 cars, I think, in the limit, and this has 4. So this could be something else, and most likely the Gran Turismo Cafe is what they call it. So this comes from GT Planet. They say some new imagery for Gran Turismo 7 has surfaced from a special tech demo by Sony relating to an 8K OLED VR headset it's currently developing. The images were snapped by the Japanese arm of technology news site Engadget, which got to test out a prototype unit of the headset. Sony also presented the headset during its Technology Day on December 7th, which is the video that I was just showing, demonstrating the capabilities of the tech. Although we don't get to see GT7 in motion, the images show the Gran Turismo Cafe section of the game in full 4K resolution. It's the first exterior shot we've seen of the building, though it perfectly matches with what we've seen from the interior shots in the previous videos and images. Now, if we go back to this, video, we will see. Where's this picture that I can get rid of this thing? And then let me zoom in here. Sony Tech Day. Right here, you can see some of the stuff in the car. But look, you'll see this woman here. She's testing out the headset, and she's like having to hold it up to her face. And you can see what she's looking at is an 8K rendering of some vehicle. So this is all possibly Gran Turismo 7 tech demo stuff, and we know, I've said it before, and although it's not confirmed, I highly suspect that Gran Turismo 7 will be a PSVR 2 launch title. I think it's a system seller, and I think it's a really important thing. Also, Kazunori Yamauchi has gone on record saying that the biggest leap that the technology the PS5 offers going from the PS4 is going to be for VR. The graphical update, I'm sure, for Gran Turismo 7 is going to be huge, but not as big of a jump as what the hardware in the PS5 is going to be able to provide for PSVR 2 and Gran Turismo 7. All right, but this I just thought was really, really cool. I wonder if they have anything else to say here before we move on. Yeah, okay. So they just talk about the scapes and different things. They talk about the technology that's in the headset, but like I said, we've pointed out a couple different really important factors regarding this headset. Even though this is not what PSVR 2 is going to be, we know that they are working on this technology. We kind of see how, because Sony is a hardware company. They're all, they develop TVs, phones, cameras, Walkmans. Do they still develop Walkmans? I bet they do. No, they probably don't. But they've always been a hardware company first, and that's where, above PlayStation Studios is Sony, the hardware company. So this is kind of like a look behind the curtain of the kind of stuff they do behind the scenes and how they develop this technology. And this technology starts from there and then spreads out through their gaming, through their and different places. So pretty awesome. Justin Cassidy says mini disc forever. That is super funny, man. I had a mini disc player, and I had like Goldfinger on it and some other things. Let's see here. But Bearded Power says GT7 looks virtually identical to GT Sport, even the same HUD. VR is the biggest thing for me. Yeah. It's been strange. Some of the things I've seen about GT7 look like almost photorealistic, but then like I see some gameplay and it looks more on par with like just a game. So it's kind of strange. The graphical fidelity of that game seems to jump here and there, but that game is scheduled to come out in March, so it's not too much longer till we start seeing the final. I'm sure they're going to be doing some like more gameplay, some stuff. They've already been showcasing a lot of Gran Turismo 7 and Horizon Forbidden West. Those are two huge, mega whopper games coming to PlayStation 5. And yeah, I can't wait to see the PSVR 2 headset, which we're waiting on. We're not that far away. I mean, we're halfway through December. Next month we have Wanderers, and we might get some other surprise games. We've got the Zenith beta starting tomorrow, so we got a couple games to keep us satisfied in the meantime. And until we see the reveal, we're only potentially a month or 2 months away from seeing more PSVR 2 news, and that is super exciting. Let me tell you guys, I've seen a little bit of PSVR 2 footage. I can't say what it is or how I saw it or where I saw it, but it looked good. It looks really good. So I really can't wait to see an actual finished, polished product. But what I've seen so far is, man, it is this headset is potentially everything and more that we've wished for and hoped for. And it's super exciting, man. And this is gonna really, I really think it's gonna be the leading. It's gonna be a big deal. We're gonna get like AAA games, and that's what I love about all these PS5 games that we're seeing. There's really potential for just about anything to come to PSVR 2, which is super exciting. Stuff like like I've said before, Gran Turismo 7, obviously, and we're seeing proof that, hey, they've already got stuff they're messing with that is ready for VR in a way. I mean, that's just the tech demo stuff. It's not actual gameplay or anything, but but we're seeing that some integration of VR into GT7 already has me really, really optimistic about what we're going to see in the future. And man, I just really can't wait. So, really, really excited. So yeah, I think GT7 is going to be really good too, man. I don't think they have to do really a whole bunch to make it awesome. So I'm really excited just to see whatever. But we got a little bit more news to cover here, and that is, let's see here. I forgot the name of the studio now. People Can Fly. Did you know that? Did you know that People Can Fly? People Can Fly is a Polish developer that made the game Painkiller. Any Painkiller fans in the house today? They made Painkiller, and they made the more recent Outriders, which I think just got okay reviews. But Painkiller was a pretty fun and awesome game. It's kind of like a Doom knockoff in a way. Like, it's got that same gritty, fast-paced style shooter. But they have purchased the VR studio Incuvo, who made Layers of Fear VR, bad port, Blair Witch VR, good port, and they're currently developing Green Hell VR, which I don't know if that's released yet, or I think it's releasing within the next few months or something. But the studio plans to expand their VR competencies, and I just think that's pretty cool. I don't know what that means for us personally. I'd love to see a Painkiller VR game, but whatever they do, I'll be looking forward to checking it out and seeing what's going on over there. But just something to keep your eye on in the future. Bad port, good port. Green Hell is coming to PlayStation, just not PlayStation VR yet. I wouldn't expect this to change any of those plans about what they have for their VR studio stuff, but I'd imagine everything is probably already inked and papered, and it's already signed. So if it and there's going to be a lot of developers targeting PSVR 2 in the future. That's going to be that, and the Quest 2 or the Quest 3 are going to be really the head things, unless somebody comes out of nowhere with another headset. The only other people I could see is maybe like Valve or Steam. If that Steam Deck thing get to like a VR edition or something, or something like that. But right now it's basically all up to Sony and Oculus, or Meta, or whatever you call them, leading the charge on the VR market. There's more niche headsets that are just like the Valve Index and a couple other ones. There's I guess there's the HTC Vive and stuff, but they're supposed to be a lot more expensive and not so much a mainstream consumer device. So, but one thing we do all know that is obvious is that VR has grown a lot within the last 5 years, and there's a hell of a lot to look forward to. We're entering phase 2, and I don't know if anybody's checked out my Twitter at all, but somebody actually commented on it earlier, and my banner on my Twitter is actually the PS2 symbol redone with PSVR 2 in that style. And to me, the reason I do that is because I'm hoping that it's like symbolic of the success of the PSVR 2 from when PlayStation 1 went to PS2. And the success that the PS2 had exploded. I think it's still one of the highest selling. I think it's still the highest selling PlayStation platform of all time at like 150 million. And I'm really hoping to see PSVR 2 have the same kind of success where it basically quadruples that of the PSVR 1. So really, really exciting times, and we haven't even we're just getting started. Like we have just 2 months or so left to see some of the first details, and it's going to be amazing. Ian Stanbridge says it is more likely that micro LED. Now, if you guys, just to let you know, fair warning, I don't really scan comments before I read them out loud. So if I make you sound bad, it's on you. Not saying that's going to happen here, but just a fair warning. Ian Sandbridge says it is more likely that micro LED, I'm guessing you meant micro OLED, will make it in VR than TVs because of the cost is related to the size of the panel you need. VR is the perfect solution, not needing a large panel. There was some interesting facts about that OLED panel. Let me get rid of this thing. I don't like to have the same thing looping all the time. So let me get rid of this, and let me get rid of this. We'll just have some. We'll gaze. We'll do some stargazing real quick. There was some interesting facts that they said in that Sony Tech Day video, and stuff like I made some notes here. We already talked about the 4K screens, but it says ultra high 4K, double the number of dots, and meaning like pixels, I believe, compared to smartphone OLED, and it reduces the panel size by almost 20 times. And that's where they talked about using the Sony's fine processing and advanced processing tech. And there's and then I also mentioned like the low latency head movement, 0.01 second processing, and yeah, basically they're trying to achieve a high resolution and low latency to make the perfect seamless video. But the micro OLED stuff, yeah, I don't think, we just survived a pandemic that we're still fighting off a little bit, quite a bit actually. And so because of this, I think it set us back a little bit time-wise in terms of the products that we can receive, I think it's probably in Sony's best interest to have a more conservative approach about certain things, trying to sell, there's, a lot of people lost jobs, a lot of people, there's all these shipping issues, supply chain issues. I don't think the entertainment market we're just now seeing signs of it starting to get life again, which is great. We're seeing stuff like movie theaters opening back up and people actually attending them. We're seeing some stores pop up again, and lots of different things. So it's certainly an exciting time, but this is just the beginning still of that VR phase and virtual reality and what it's capable of and what it's capable of being successful with. This stuff is obviously being tested and developed, but it's going to be a while before we see some of this stuff coming to a mainstream product, because otherwise the headset, if a PSVR 2 was going to be wireless and have micro OLED, which, I mean, I'm not saying it won't, but from what we've seen, it's not. All this stuff is going to be like $2,000, $5,000 for it. It's kind of like when 4K TVs started coming out, they were all like, especially the OLED 4K TVs, they all came out at like $2,000 to $5,000. But then you give it a couple years or whatever, and now they're like $1,000 or less, or depending on where you get it from or what size you get. But my point is the technology advances very fast. So it's like how you have a computer that can be outdated in like a year or two. It's the same concept. But anyways, that would be cool. So let's see, where are we at now with the news? There's two different things. RC Airplane Challenge by Strange Games Studios was announced, and that is coming out on Tuesday. So we'll be taking a look at that. Hopefully we get an early look at it. And there's a video. Make sure you go to Without Parole. Check his breaking news report. It's got all the info you need. I think one of the really cool things, and one of the things that makes that Strange Game Studios is really known for, is that it's going to be, I think, 16 versus 16 multiplayer. So that's pretty cool. 32-person dogfights. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I think the price is $15. It's also going to have single-player content. Sorry I'm not playing a video, but again, I threw this together last second. I don't have a video handy right now, but that should be pretty cool. And then the last news story of the day is After the Fall. boy, what a story this game has been. After the fall today, hold on, before we get started on this one, Game Cat Mob Task Force, protect Dave at all costs, says we must protect AJ. Oh, man. Well, thank you. I think I could protect myself, but I'll take some backup. I'm always down with the backup. But anyways, after the fall, which has had such a rocky launch, got a major update today, and 1.1. I streamed it earlier, and the stream didn't go as well as I wanted it to, but it was still a fun time. I just ended up playing with some AI to show it off. At the time when I started streaming this morning, the Quest servers were down for maintenance, so there was like just a couple PC players online. There wasn't there, and a couple PlayStation players, and like that was it. There was like nobody else, and I'm pretty sure Quest is the biggest share of the market on there. Dead Ringer with the 666 donation. Thank you, my demonic friend, and shout out to the juniors. Says happy Friday, AJ. Let's play after the fall. Hashtag hire the juniors. I can do a. I was going to do V-Rock, Braxbro. Braxbro was asking about an epic rant for V-Rock. Did I actually... Okay, let's get to V-Rock real quick. I'll make this quick and painless. Not as painful as having to play this thing. That was actually part of... How do I get rid of this picture? There we go. And this one. Hold on. We'll get to after the fall in a second. V-Rock surprised us on the PlayStation Store this morning. Late last night, I actually saw it come out, and it looked like a rhythm game. And usually when we get stealth drops like this, they don't particularly end well most of the time. But, we need some cool rhythm games. There's been a lot of advertising for some cool rhythm games like, Unplugged, I guess, and some other ones. I don't really know anything about them yet. Smash Drums Rock. I don't know what it's called. But here's the thing about this game. I actually like the music in it, but that's about it. Some of the music. Only it has like one metal song, and I'm a sucker for metal. And the thing is that when it comes to games that don't use the move controllers, I'm okay with some games using the DualShock. There's been games where it actually works better, stuff like Astrobot Rescue Mission. And then there's games like Resident Evil 7 where it's like I would prefer moves, but this generation, this first gen of PSVR, I'm willing to be a little bit more open-minded about games not using move controllers. The problem with V-Rock is that it gives you there's two different instruments you can play. There's a drum set and a guitar. Right now, I think you're seeing the guitar. Here's a look at the drum set. There's no move support for the drum set. Now, I don't know how many musicians are out there, but I play the drums, I play guitar, I play bass, and like the most fun part about drums is like smashing them with drumsticks. So it was a big letdown to find out that this game did not have move support for the drum tracks. It's kind of like a Rock Band Guitar Hero ripoff, but you only use the DualShock and you only use the shoulder buttons. And this is the problem with this game. The problems with this game go way beyond it not having move support. It's just not like this game wouldn't even be good as a non-VR game. When it comes to VR, we all know the whole purpose of playing games in VR is not just to wear a headset. Like, it's not just because, that's kind of more alluding to the whole point of the 3D TV gimmick. Like, we like to be immersed, and some games can be immersive with a DualShock. This game is bad in every single way, except for maybe one or two songs. This game is bad in every single freaking way possible. It's not immersive. It's not fun to play. It's not even a good rhythm game. Like, if you put this game as a flat game, it'd be trash. I mean, it is trash, but it'd be trash as a flat game as well. And there's no point in getting stuff like this in VR. There's no reason to play this in VR. There's no reason to play this game outside of VR either. But it's amazing that it's a VR only game. I mean, it just completely misses the point. Absolutely terrible. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about this game, other than I thought maybe the one redeeming factor was that it would have a platinum trophy, which it does, and it's got a really easy platinum trophy to obtain. But guess what? One trophy is broken. So I spent like an hour or something, hour and a half playing this in Discord last night, and I couldn't even freaking finish it because I couldn't even get the platinum, which was super disappointing. I was like, well, at least I'm spending the time, the money on this shit, and at least I'm getting a platinum trophy out of this. Nope. So total piece of shit. There's your angry rant for the day. I hope you found it satisfying. Triangulator says, have you seen the VR rhythm game Ragnarok VR from PSVR? Would be perfect with the moves. So somebody brought this to my attention in the Discord yesterday, I think it was. I think it was Serial Killer. And he showed it to me, and yeah, it seems all right. Like, it seems like it could be okay. I need to play these games and experience them myself before I can really judge. I really just looked at it for 2 seconds. I have played a drumming game in where was that? I played I played a drumming game, a similar Viking drumming game in it was called Viking Days. It's a terrible game. Don't even look into that. And it was terrible. But yeah, so Triangulator says that Ragnarok is actually pretty fun. Okay, that's good to know. There's a couple games I'm keeping my eye on. None of these have really satisfied me. I mean, I'm going to be I feel like almost, I love Beat Saber. I love Synth Riders. I love Pistol Whip. I love Thumper. I even like Audica. So there's other, and Electronaut. So there's other rhythm style games and experiences that I've enjoyed, but I haven't played like a real, like, immersive rock band or Guitar Hero style game yet, or something that gives you like a great drum set to interact with. But I would very much be interested in that kind of thing. Oh, nice. Looper the Game Cat coming through the Underground Game Cat Elite Name Squad in the house. Says, does Hotel R&R have the best VR drums so far? I don't know about VR. Maybe PSVR. But I love messing around with the instruments in Hotel R&R. I love that game too. I think it's actually kind of a hidden gem, and I think it's a really fun, complete game, and it's just you're just up to a lot of mischief and lots of stuff. It's really, really fun. And I have played a drum solo on the Hotel R&R. Ian Stambridge says, Jane says Tarzan has the best drums. Smash the lock, Tarzan. Yeah, no. Satan's Neighbor asked, do they have a metal music pack on Synth Riders? There's metal songs in the base game, which I guess for those who don't know too, I did the holiday synth. The holiday pack for Synth Riders actually came out today. It dropped today. There's a holiday update. It's called the Merry Synthmas update, and it has a metal Christmas song. I will show you a quick demonstration of this, if you guys are interested. Let's take a quick look and see. Which one is it? 2.9, 3. Let's take a quick look. This should be fun. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta make sure the volume's gonna be really loud here, so let me make sure. You guys should be able to hear this. Pretty badass, man. It's a fun level. There's a level that you can choose with snow as well, and I haven't. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there though, because I'm afraid of getting a copyright claim. But that was a quick look. I recorded some footage, but then I found out later that that you can actually choose a level that has like snow and stuff. So I wanted to record footage for it. But I might get to it tomorrow. I'm sure somebody requested tomorrow on Saturday Night Live stream, and we'll take another look at it there and have some fun with it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I want to play it with the snow stuff. Tomorrow's going to be such a busy day. We got Zenith, we got Swordsman, and then I've got Saturday Night Live stream. So potentially, well, I can't stream Zenith, so that's off the cards. But yeah, tomorrow is jam-packed for me. I'm going to be so busy working on things behind the scenes. But got some donations to take care of real quick. Piotrek says, what's your dream game coming to PSVR 2? Oh, man. I don't really know, man. There's so much potential for like anything. I mean, again, any PS5 game. I think my dream game, the easy answer is Returnal. Easy answer is Returnal. I would love to have Returnal in VR, but there's stuff I've got my eye on, like Ghostwire Tokyo. That's also like Returnal, Ghostwire Tokyo. Like those are my types of games. Like I look at those and I'm immediately captured by those, and I would love to have those in VR on PSVR 2. So I'm going to give you that for a short answer, but the real answer is like everything, everything. Blue Jew, the Underground Game Cat Elite Name Squad in the house says, thank you for doing the show. AJ, you say the date. Thank you. Choo choo. Stevie Dan, the Solo Game Cat, thank you so much. Says, I took my son to a birthday party. They had Guitar Hero. It was cool watching these kids play together. They had the drums, etc. Yeah, a virtual rock band, Guitar Hero kind of thing where one person plays guitar, one plays. Yeah, they talk about a potential for VR accessories. That could be something we see on PSVR 2 is a guitar accessory. Maybe it'll be compatible with the Guitar Hero or something on PS5. Maybe they'll allow it to reuse those, or somebody will make a new one. But that'd be really cool to be in VR and have an immersive being up on stage thing and playing together. That'd be dope as hell, and I'm all with it. All with it. Darth Vader, the Game Cat. Carol of the Bells is my favorite epic remix. Yeah, that's a really, really cool metal take on the Carol of the Bells. That is by Dance with the Dead, I think they're called. But what up, GC13 Pepsi Cat? Good to see you. Let's see though. But yeah, man. So that is V-Rock. Stay the hell away from it. It's god awful. It sucks so bad. And yeah. It's honestly the type of game that when people say like they shouldn't allow this game on the platform, it would do more damage than good. This is a good example of one of those games where, if somebody were to pick up VR and for the first time not know anything about that, and they play this first, they're like, oh, this sounds cool. They would go and return their VR headset like immediately. I mean, or I wouldn't blame them if they did, but, oh God. But anyways, guys, so back to After the Fall, just as we wrap things up here, quick update to this game 1.1. They fixed the Move controllers. This was the big thing, and the aim controller as well for the most part. They finally gave us a button layout that we actually wanted. It's the traditional style, as we call it, where you press the Move button to move, and then the turn buttons are on the same hands. Now here's the thing: if you spent some time getting used to the awful controls that they had before, you're gonna have to allow some time to get used to the new ones. It's gonna feel weird, but it's actually much better. I also recommend using the holsters, not the weapon wheel. I hate the weapon wheel in this game. I think it's mandatory for the aim controller, but they also made the square button, the reload or eject magazine button for the aim controller. So that's the good news. They did a major controller overhaul. Big props to them for getting this right. I was really worried because, we had no idea what they could have implemented. They could have really screwed it up again, and I think I was on the record saying I would have been double pissed if they screwed it up again. They did not. They got the Move controllers right. So here's the other thing, though. The game crashes a lot. so we're not out of the woods yet. There's two major problems. The game crashes, and there's still that stupid blue grid that pops up. I've talked to the team. I've told them both about these things. I've been talking to their community manager Tue. Like I said, I know we're a little upset about the launch of this game, but I really think they're being very sincere when they have told me the situation and saying that they understand our frustration. They're very sorry. But they are trying to work on it as soon as possible. You know us. We say whatever the hell we want. We call it as we see it. And I think they're being genuine here. I think they do care. They wanted a quality product. They did it. They have apologized to me personally and to me. And I'm, trying to do my part in saying that to behalf of them to you guys as well. But it's still. It still needs to be fixed. That's the truth, is that it still needs to be fixed. And then once we get past, this is the problem, is that once we get past the issues with this game, the fundamental issues like, not crashing, then there's the discussion of content. They've actually somehow managed to completely remove the conversation about the content in the game because of all these horrible issues first. It almost worked in their favor, but we expect more. For $40, that's a premium price for a game that's a AAA. That's usually what we say. We expect a AAA polished title for $40 when it comes to the VR space. So we're gonna hold them to that price tag. Hope for the best. But I will say this is a huge improvement. Who said? Jupiter Sky says Blue Grid is still in Song and Smoke as well. Blue Grid, you can disable the Blue Grid in Song and Smoke. There's three games that came out this year that, off the top of my head, anyways, that are guilty of the Blue Grid. And when I was talking to Tue, he was saying, "Isn't that mandatory?" I was like, "No, I don't. I think it's maybe something mandatory." For the certification process, but it's a really good idea to flip that off, because what happens is that blue grid is overly sensitive, and even if you're in your play space, it creates a barrier or like a cage that limits their play space. Like, I know where my camera is capable of seeing, and that the blue grid that pops up does not align with what my camera sees, and that's where it becomes problematic. You're actually further limiting the play space with that stupid blue grid, and I get it. There's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of processes you have to go through with Sony certification, but there's also fail safes and there's ways around it. There's workarounds to do it. So let's see here. Yeah, no problem, Jupiter Skies. There's a bunch of settings in Song in the Smoke, and like when we talked to Jake Kasdal from 17-bit, we said, we understand these things being a necessity 5 years ago to keep people from running into their walls or falling through their coffee tables, but this is not something we need anymore. But yeah, man, we will keep you updated on the status of after the fall, because I think the game does have a lot of potential. I've gone on record saying I like this game a lot more than Arizona Sunshine. And to be honest with you, I wish they would go back and add the move and aim implementation that they did now with this latest update to Arizona Sunshine, because I think the controllers and stuff are still garbage on Arizona Sunshine. But with PSVR 2 kind of right around the corner, that game has been out for 5 years, 4 years or something. I don't think it really matters too much. So, woo, guys, fun times, really exciting times ahead. I can't wait to jump into this stuff tomorrow. Before we get out of here, let me see what you guys are talking about here. And anything you guys want to talk about before we get out of here. It's Friday night. We're kicking it with the family. We're having some fun. Chairface says PSVR 2 is ages away. I disagree. I think it's coming next year. I don't know when it's coming out, but I think we'll be hearing stuff around February or March is my gut instinct. And I think we'll be hearing stuff then, similar to last year. Remember earlier this year, I mean, we got the announcement of PSVR 2 or next-gen VR on PS5 in February, and then we got the controllers in March. We could see a similar pattern happen 2022. New year coming up. Stevie Dan Solo says, I'm going to see the Spider-Man on Sunday. Heard good things. I've heard phenomenal things as well. I cannot wait to go see the new Spider-Man movie. I'm really excited about that. And while we're at it, I would love to see a Spider-Man video game. I want to see Insomniac do a full-fledged PSVR 2 Spider-Man. I think you got to capitalize on Spider-Man while it's hot. Spider-Man is super hot right now. The MCU and superheroes are super hot. And I think it's a perfect time. As long as they don't lose any steam, I still think MCU and Star Wars are the two biggest franchises you can kind of, take advantage of, get some games, get more people into VR with. Absolutely. Thank you, Funkadelic Game Cat. Happy Friday to you. Have a great night. You guys take care. Oh, Geisen saw it. Says really good. You can be Spider Hawkeye Man in Windlands 2. That's right. Nick Ulo got the platinum on Windlands 2. That is crazy. This guy, this is proof that he has a couple screws loose in his head. Nick, you got to tell me though, was the Windlands 2 platinum as hard as John Hibbins was saying it was? The CEO of Cytec. Was it as hard as he said? Because he pretty much said good luck. I think Johnny No Pocket says if I can't get PSVR 2 by next Christmas, this grown man gonna cry. I don't think you have to worry about that, man. I think we'll have it somewhere between, and I think the window is from summer to holiday. I think somewhere. I don't think it's gonna be in the summer, but I would love that. But I could see anywhere from like October to holiday. You know, I don't know. You know, Sony's got all the data that says when it's going to do it, but all signs are pointing towards a holiday 2022 release. But you never know. You never know. What I do think is that we'll be seeing the first glimpses of it at February, March time, and whether or not there's a release imminent right after that, or if it's like, you know, a big build-up for the rest of the year. We'll have a lot to look forward to, though. How about an Alien versus Predator multiplayer VR game? Sure, why not? That would be. I mean, I'd like just a straight-up Predator game. No, you know what? Yeah, give me both. Why not? That'd be super cool. Do we know when GT7 is supposed to come out? That is a March release, I believe. January, February, March. It's either March or it's May. I think it's March is when it's supposed to come out. And maybe there's something. Maybe some of these games have something to do with the announcement of PSVR 2, or the first showcase, I should say. Maybe when the game releases, they say, well, you can, you know, here's the launch day, but here's what you can look forward to. Here's a roadmap. Give us kind of a roadmap. That's all we ask for, really, is like a roadmap. That would be really, really nice. No more of this leaving us in the dark stuff. open up the communication a little bit more, the transparency, just a little bit more. I know you got to hide stuff from competitors. You got to get a lot of stuff on ink and paper before you can really start doing the other production stuff. But I'm being patient because of the trying times that we've had to go through, and I'm just so glad that we're still around to witness the greatness that is coming. Let's see. Delirium Drew. Yes. No, I haven't. Okay. Pietrix is 4th of March. All right, guys. PPO Kojima says, PPO Kojima, the Silent Hill game cat, says PSVR 2 is going to be bigger than a lot of us are thinking. I agree. PPO Kojima, the Silent Hill game cat. I agree. And on that note, I will see you guys later. Happy Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to be busy as hell playing Zenith tomorrow, getting as much time into that so we can give you our thoughts and impressions on Monday. Yeah, man, if I get a chance, Swordsman. If not, I'll check out the Synth Riders and Swordsman updates during Saturday night live streams every Saturday night, 10 o'clock Eastern. Don't be late. People request games super fast, so you make sure you get in on the action and get whatever you want to see. GC13, Dipep Scatino, you're the best. You're all the best. It was really fun hanging out with you guys, man. Thank you for keeping me company. Braxbro says, cue the Keanu. Whoa. Justin Cassidy, Shades of Gray Matter, Johnny No Pockets, aka Who Dat Game Cat, Guy Son Fist Bump to you. Guys, you have a wonderful night, and I will see you again soon. Later. Take care, y'all.